Hi, we're here at the Source Interlink Media Tech Center. My name is Jim Rizzo, editor of Classic Trucks Magazine, and today we're going to be doing an install of a total cost involved engineering independent front suspension system.
My name's Sal from Total Cost Involved. I'm the vice president of the company. This is all American made in Southern California. We have a new sway bar that's 1-inch material. We have our 16 valve adjustable shocks. We have our upper control arms that are 1-inch DOM, American made material. We have our rack and pinion. It's a rebuilt rack with urethane bushings that oil or nothing will affect them. This front end kit comes with the cross member. It's one piece, so when you put it in after you box it, once the cross member's in, everything bolts on to the front end very simply and easy. We have our lower control arms that are made out of 1 1/8 DOM material. Here we have our spindle and brake assemblies. The kit comes complete with everything hub to hub, so there's nothing to buy once you purchase it. These are the components, and here's the truck, and now let's go ahead and get to it.
We just removed the 56 front suspension and rolled it out of the way.
Looking on the passenger side of the truck now, putting the boxing plate in.
Piece of,
both sides had to be squared up, so they're taking the C-clamp and they're pulling the rail together so it matches up top and bottom. And also now they're doing the same as we did the other side, checking the vertical side of the boxing plate to make sure it's parallel to the outside. When they start welding the boxing plates, you can only weld so many inches at a time. Otherwise, it'll start to twist the frame.
We're going to trim the cross member to fit in between the frame rail, and that way it'll fit nice and tight. We boxed the frame. Now Jason is grinding up the welds, and we're getting ready for the main cross member.
Putting the front cross member in the truck. Right now with our protractor, we're at 1.5 degrees. So that means the truck has the rake that we want. And when the cross member goes in, we want to get this cross member set at 0 so the pins are parallel to the ground and that relationship is perfect.
We welded the main cross member in place. Next, we're going to remove that factory core support cross member, and we'll knock the rivets out. We're going to plasma cut the C-notch on the frame rail. We did a measurement here, so we're just going to cut that out. Sway bar first, get that thing in, and then the control arms.
Now we're going to install the lower control arms. You notice the control arm bushings have slots in them. That's where the grease goes. When this gets put together, we'll put the grease inside of the urethane bushing and then put the metal sleeve in it. These are button head bolts that we take and we machine. So when the bolt's up against the heim's up against the end of the bolt, it allows the heim to articulate and move freely.
We're putting the coilover shock. We'll start out at the top here. Make sure that the adjustment knob is facing the rear of the vehicle. We got the upper control arm. Here's what we call the eccentric shaft. This is what to get your camber adjustment. As you bring it out or bring it in, that's when you adjust your camber. Okay, we're putting on the power rack.
What we're doing is we're going to go ahead and run the rack all the way to one side and take a measurement, and then we're going to go ahead and steer it all the way to the other side and measure that distance. If it's 6 inches, that means we want the rack to be centered at 3 inches. So it's very imperative that you center the rack when you put this together so it steers the same both directions.
We're putting the spindle assembly onto the lower control arm.
As you can see, I didn't slide the spindle all the way down over the stud because the nut will not go on afterwards. So I went ahead and got it started. Now I'm going ahead and putting the nut on. Now we're installing the outer tie rod ends.
That should wrap it up.
That concludes our install, and this is what a total cost involved custom IFS looks like on a Chevy pickup.
Cut!